You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Big Brother After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Big Brother After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and today we're doing Big Brother. Something oddly familiar about this. I'm your host, Ryan Allen Carrillo, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host from Big Brother, Ashley Iocco. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Nice.
You know, if you guys can hear what we talk about before we go on air, you'd probably fall over out of your chair, but you just have to leave you with that. So we're recapping last week's episode and last night's live eviction.
Yeah.
How's everything with you?
Really good, you know, getting a little tired of Big Brother. Not tired, but just tired of those final peeps.
Those final peeps. Well, we finally know the final three. We're going to go into it and review everything for you guys. But yeah, I feel the same way.
We got refreshed.
But I will say this, and we talked about this earlier. Yeah, we were very excited. They did show the jury house.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to show the jury house, and that's it for the rest of the season.
I want the live feeds from the jury house.
Exactly. I mean, they should. All right, so Sunday's episode, it was sort of a recap because, you know, after the double eviction, the following Thursday, there were so many questions. We were wondering why Alyssa got voted out, why he picked her, and there was a few random, during the live show, it's hard to, like, see what's going on because they just, like, kind of give you a glimpse of what was happening.
Right.
And they showed, like, Judd and her kind of screaming, but we didn't know what was going on. So I was looking forward to Sunday's episode, and literally the first 15 minutes was basically a recap.
All your favorite, black and white.
Most of it in black and white. I love the black and white, but I actually love the black and white to color transition in that music.
Yeah.
I love that. I'll have to get that soundbite for next time. So basically, Andy, you know, a.k.a. the Rat, is pretending that he voted, and Alyssa was the one who didn't vote according to plan. And basically, he's framing her. He knows he has the support of the exterminators. And he's literally, I mean, you got to kind of give it to him, though, because he was like, have someone try to come up to me in that house and say, you lied, you didn't vote for me.
I know, but that was so painful to watch because he's like, stop lying, Alyssa.
Yeah,
like,
you're fucking, oh, sorry, swearing. You're lying, Alyssa. And Alyssa just like, you know, she's just so passive and just like kind of took it. And we're like, try to come at me that way, sir.
Right.
I would have just, I mean, I was a little sad that Alyssa didn't stand up for herself more.
But it's because I sympathize with Alyssa because it's during the double eviction. And it's like,
crazy.
If you're not a fighter, sometimes like confrontation can be hard because I know for like me personally, it's like I can't think of the words to say. And she's probably just like, oh my God, I can't believe that Andy's doing this.
Right. So in all honesty, you know, Alyssa did deserve to go home because she didn't put up the case to stay there. I mean, granted, that is her personality, but this is Big Brother. You have another house guest coming at you super aggressive and basically calling you out, and you're not making the case to go back at them.
And she had the wedding ring evidence. Like,
it was crazy. And also, it was weird that Amanda called him out on the way out, too. And even McCrae, during his interview, he said, when he was on the show, he said, what did he say? Oh, he said that in his gut, he thinks that it was Andy because he can tell that he's lying.
Why do we not follow our gut? Sometimes I don't follow mine, and then I end up messing up.
Oprah does a full, show about that. Go with your instinct.
Yeah.
But nobody ever does.
Why?
I don't know because I think we second guess ourselves.
We do.
Plus, it's like it's so much at the end. His girl just left. As you said, double evictions are crazy, and it was just like you have literally seconds to decide what's going on. Which at that point you really should go with your gut, but that's not what happened. So. Alyssa is scrambling, but her scrambling is more of just, please don't vote me out, sort of like crying kind of thing, like upset, which was kind of sad to watch.
It was very sad.
And then, they did a flashback. Judd obviously won the veto. And then there was this weird confrontation with Judd. She went up to Judd and said, listen, I never voted you out. That wasn't me. But then DM... as well as Andy, they all said, yes, you did, Alyssa, and they all were like ganging up on her.
Attacking her again, I know.
It was this big, framework that was going on. And, Alyssa ends up leaving. And they start right into the next HOH competition, which is a video game sort of themed shenanigans.
That was cool.
Yeah, where they show pixelated images and you try to guess which one it was. It didn't actually look super difficult, but some of them were having trouble.
Wow, I beg to differ. I thought that looked hard.
Really? I don't know, I'm pretty good at puzzles. I can't imagine
Okay.
you're a good puzzle girl.
Yeah, I'm good at kitty cat puzzles.
Kitty cat puzzles. Puzzles? I can't even speak. Yeah, so basically, who ended up winning that? Spencer won the HOH, and everyone got a gift afterwards, which this was the only really entertaining thing. This actually Sunday's episode was really slow for me. It was very boring.
Sometimes Sunday's episodes are a little boring.
I don't know. I love all the drama and the recap usually, but it just wasn't that exciting, which is why they had this sort of fluff to go with it. He gave the friendship bracelets to GM and McRae, so they're tied together for 24 hours, which the footage made it seem like they were tied together longer than 24 hours.
Totally, I thought the same thing.
Right? It seemed like it was days.
Yeah, it was cute though. I would have liked to have been tied together with somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. McRae just seems dirty to me.
Well, yeah. I guess I heard. I hate to talk like this, but I just get these little tidbits from fans and stuff. But apparently, McRae didn't shower a lot.
I mean, you're living in a house. You're 24 hours a day. You better shower. People are gonna call you out. The gift of wealth went to Andy. He has a chance coming up to win $5,000. Which Spencer definitely has a little love affair with Andy. Andy's his guy.
Right?
Right? It's really weird.
And Andy doesn't reciprocate.
Reciprocate?
Is that a word?
You said it right, but I think you said it a little wrong. Sorry, my phone was on loud.
No, I'm fast forwarding.
No, I get it, but I don't know where that relationship, sort of bonded from. And then the gift of health went to Judd, which can we just say, let me throw my pen down. Judd is the most unathletic guy I've ever seen in my life.
His form on squats was awful.
His form on squats, sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks,
I can't.
not terrible, terrible. Really, really bad.
Right. I thought he was kind of a poor sport about some things. And he's a big super fan. I thought he would be loving that stuff.
No, I'm just not a huge Judd fan.
I'm not either, but your boyfriend is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
No, he is. No, but it was kind of a difficult work. I mean, doing 100 squats, that's and they were doing it a lot to him too. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure he was tired and everything else, but his lunges form. Can we talk about his lunges? form?
Exactly. He's looking like a sloppy frog.
And even in the challenges, he's not good. He's very unathletic, which bless him, but whatever. So
Maybe they shouldn't have got him out.
yeah, probably not. Well, while GM is tied to McRae, he tries to make a deal with DM. Sorry, GM. Sorry, I'm getting Survivor confused.
I was thinking DM as direct message. On
No, I was thinking
Twitter.
DM actually from the challenge because I just watched the challenge yesterday too.
Oh, that's so good. I feel really bad about saying McRae doesn't shower. Guys, I don't know.
Ashley's not the nicest person, as you know. But anyways, I will say that Gina Marie, she does play the sort of dumb card, I'm not a gamer very well. Even McRae was falling for, which, it wasn't a hard sell, but, she just comes across genuine when she says, yeah, I got nobody. I'm not working with anybody.
She does.
She just put on her makeup. She actually is, pretty good at, playing that card, I thought.
Yeah.
So that's that.
No, I agree. Because she's all nonchalant, yeah, putting her makeup on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're all pretty good liars. I mean, I would say that Andy and Spencer sort of overacted a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like Ian did on your season. It was just ridiculous. If you're going to lie, you got to practice a little bit, Give us a test run.
Yeah, but everyone's pretty gullible in that house because the rats seem to go pretty far.
Yeah, no alliances, nothing. So Andy gets the opportunity to win the money, which he had to smash some pigs, and then there's prize money inside, and he just epically sucked at that too. He won less than $10 or something,
It's
right?
terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Which is so funny. On last night's episode, they show that little clip or a sound bite, and then it goes into the opening of the show. They showed him missing the pig with the hat. That was really funny to me. So that was it.
I love those little intros. So.
I do too. That was it for Sunday. Nothing going on. Very boring episode, which I read on Twitter. A lot of people felt the same way. But going on to Wednesday, on the block is McRae and GM. They were both tied together. GM didn't want to be up there. It's very risky to be on the block this late. There's not really much options. And also Wednesday was another midweek live show.
Which was cool.
Which was cool. I love the live show, and plus it's just an extra,
More Julie.
extra rate of pay for Julie. She gets to work an extra day.
She's like, I'm so tired of this.
Yeah, she's like, I'm over it. I mean, it literally is over. It's it's like so sad that it's only in the summers because you get Survivor twice a year, Amazing Race, whatever else. But it's like our summers. Like this like shows that summer's officially over. It's over, people.
Sad.
Very sad.
Bye. But they're already casting. I saw the commercial.
Yeah, they are.
So I guess they're getting picked up for season 16.
Well, you must not have read. They did get picked up for season 16.
Congratulations, Big
It's
Brother.
official. Don't you follow Big Brother on Twitter?
I do, but I'm following too many people that my feed gets.
I only follow 238. Let's see.
So stuck up.
Moving on. Spencer basically told Judd that he'll be the replacement. So this is where it goes into what I was talking about, that the love affair with Andy and Spencer, which is a weird alliance, but they're both kind of redheads, so maybe that's the little.
Do you remember like a couple episodes, like whenever we were doing another show, and I said that they should be a duo, a redhead duo?
Yeah.
It works.
Well, anyone who takes Spencer to the end, I think, is golden because Spencer's just not. He's just been a complete floater the whole time.
I wanted to ask you your opinion too, because like I'm just curious how that's all gonna pan out.
I don't know.
Later.
Well, let's get into the predictions a little bit later. So Judd isn't pleased. He doesn't want to be. He can tell he's on the outs, and I bet at this point he's regretting, not using the veto to save Alyssa. Because I thought when he first came back to the house they were gonna have a little alliance together, which they sort of kind of did because she gave him information right away, but then he got involved with the exterminators, but he always knew he was the one on the outs,
Right, that's why he should have kept that second thing going on with Alyssa, but they weren't thinking.
You gotta have as many alliances as possible.
Yeah.
And they showed more clips of GM and McCrae going to the bathroom together. She's running through she's like has to go to the bathroom screaming that she has cramps, like literally running through the house, hysterical. She's like on her period, and he's like, if I've ever had any attraction towards GM, it's over after all of this. So then they go into the veto competition, and it was the superhero themed, where they have to fly across, hit the buzzer, and then the puzzle pieces come down. They had this on your season too, right?
Yes, they did. But they didn't get to wear those sweet costumes.
It was sweet costumes, but I will say, Ian appeared, but his costume was terrible. It was falling out of the back. It wasn't form fitting.
I thought he actually looked very grown up and kind of muscular in the.
It was
costume.
so oversized. I wasn't pleased with the fitting of the costume, but that's just me.
Okay, costume designers.
I actually love this competition. It looks really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that didn't Ian look nervous?
Oh yeah.
His hands were shaking. He was all
Yeah.
It was a lot. But it was good for the house guests. It's always exciting to meet, another Big Brother winner, because who knows if they even met another Big Brother person. They're going to meet everybody when they get off the show.
Yeah.
But it must have been exciting to see Ian. Yeah, I wish he was more involved than just the host, though. I thought it was going to be a little bit more exciting than
him come into Pandora's box.
Or something, come to the house, give some advice. I like all that. When Rachel was Pandora's box one year, that was hysterical.
That was good.
That was amazing.
Good.
Full drama.
Yeah.
Has there even been Pandora box?
No, they haven't had a Pandora's box, but they did get a luxury competition.
Yes. What? I don't understand what's happening.
Those are my favorite too.
So basically, they have 20 seconds to put this puzzle together, and they have to hit the button before 20 seconds, or all the pieces fall down. Judd, of course, can't get it all, and he just quits.
He's terrible. They probably should have just kept him.
Yeah, because he's not gonna win the next one. You know what I mean? But anyways, so then even Spencer's getting a little irritated because he's helping Andy the whole time, and he's not helping Spencer, and Spencer's the one who's gonna name the replacement nominee. So he's not kissing the right butt. But anyways, McCrae wins. I mean, thank God for him, because he knew he was gone. He had to win.
Yeah, they were mad about that.
Yeah, they weren't pleased, because now this basically means one of the exterminators is going home.
Mm-hmm.
They've already said they're going to put Judd up as a replacement nominee. They're all sort of scrambling at this point. And Judd, even though they're lying to Judd can tell that they're lying, and he sort of has a full breakdown.
A little hissy fit.
A little breakdown where he goes crazy. What do you think that was all about?
I think that he has a really poor temper, and maybe.
You do?
Yeah, on Twitter they were saying he needs to go to anger management classes.
I don't think anger management. I just think he was kind of losing his mind. Or don't you think they're all sort of losing their mind at this point?
Yeah, for sure. I think you do go a little crazy at this point, but I guess this wasn't the only time that they just showed it on the episode. Like
Right.
on the live feeds, he's freaked out.
Do you know what they didn't show on this episode either? Is they just saw her. She said that she called for a medic. Was GM.
Yeah, remember
But
last
I
time
remember
I was
you.
a
Yeah,
spoiler
you.
alert.
Well, you didn't tell it. You told us off the
Oh,
air.
okay, so that's
So what was
it
that, T? Tell us about that.
She ripped her knee open and like
On
sprained
the
her
challenge?
ankle. Yeah, during the challenge. But I guess she's fine now because she did well in the other stuff.
Yeah, she's walking around and everything else.
Yeah.
But you could tell that her leg was wrapped in like saran wrap, and they had mentioned that she was down. That's why they maybe kept her so she wouldn't do well in challenges.
Right.
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking, but then she seemed okay.
Right. Well, I mean, how hard are you gonna get hurt? I mean, you cut your knee. I mean, did she need stitches?
Yeah, she got a couple stitches.
In her knee?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And that's hard because it's bendy.
Bendy?
It doesn't heal, yeah.
A knee is bendy. It doesn't heal. Thank you, Dr. Ashley Iocco. This is what I have to deal with, people.
Call me doctor.
Doctor. Let's see. What else is going on?
I hope I have my facts straight on that one.
Why? Because you're going to start getting read afterwards by all the fan.
They're going to be like, nope, she didn't have stitches.
So it goes down to the veto competition. And what I thought was really interesting is that Judd gave a full read to McCrae. Do you remember that? He like stood up and was like I'm gunning for you and blah, blah, blah. So like there's only 2 people voting. And, he could have given the case that, Gina Marie's going to get more jury votes than him.
He should have said that.
That's exactly what he should have. But instead he like went like all emotional and crazy. But like everyone, even his alliance, was like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. What was all that about?
No one agreed with him. And then, okay, I think he's a little, like, I think he's thinking too into it because then he was like, Julie called him out like during his exit interview and he's like, he's like, yeah, that was reverse psychology because he was like, yeah, Spencer and Andy, I'm gonna be, what did he say?
I don't even know.
Something after you, but then he's going into the jury house.
It was weird. No, what he said is when he left, he said he was gonna vote for them so that they would get them out. I don't know. It was so confused. His like gameplay is confusing even to us, and we're like literally studying it, taking notes, watching it. I'm like, what is happening? I don't even know. So obviously Judd's gone for the second time.
How bad is that to get evicted twice from the Big Brother house?
Well, I don't know. To me, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, he left once and was in the jury house, and then he got to dive back in the game again. So how exciting must that have been?
Yeah, you're right. He got the best of both.
Yeah, I mean, the chances are, what are the chances you're going to win? 1 in whatever. Like, it's not the best chance anyways. But at least he got to come back in, live a little bit, and, like, experience some more stuff. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, because the games at the end of Big Brother are the best, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think I missed out on all the cool games.
You missed out on a lot.
I know.
But you were just drunk in the jury house the whole time.
It's not.
So then I also thought it was interesting when he left. He did mention that about Spencer and Andy. But, he also tells McCrae, he says, check your Bible. And he says he left him a note in there.
Right. And that's when Julie called him out. She's like, I don't understand. You wrote this, like, heartfelt note to...
How did he write it?
That's what I was just going to say. And that's another thing. Because I remember... Boogie wanted Frank's number or vice versa, and they were trying to write it on nail polish on one of the playing cards that we got, and he got called in the DR and said that was not allowed. So I have no idea how he wrote that message.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't say he wrote it. He said he left him a message. He must be like a spiritual person or something.
Maybe he ripped out a piece of the Bible. Isn't that against the God?
Probably. I mean, I don't think God would appreciate that. But who knows? I rip out the scriptures that I don't think apply to me. I don't even know.
Okay.
So anyway, so he left him a note for there, and then you're right. It was weird. He said he's voting for Andy and Spencer. But then, when he sat with Julie, he says he's for sure going to vote for GM in hopes that she goes far. Which
at this point, I'm rooting for GM.
I am too, to be honest with you. People are not pleased, but whatever. If it was Andy and Spencer, I would vote for Andy, though, too. There's no way in hell I would give it to Spencer.
No.
Like
Andy's won a lot more.
A lot more, and he's been more conniving and everything else. Like, I wish he was more, like, upfront about his gameplay instead of, like, sort of doing it in the shadows. But I'll just be irritated if he wins. Well, whatever. Let's see. Laughed at Andy's goodbye. Oh, what was that? Oh. Every time Andy's on screen, do you know that the audience just starts laugh. It's so they don't think he's sincere like at all. Like that's how he's coming across. Like every time Andy like says goodbye to one of the house guests on the screen for the studio audience to see, they literally just start laughing at him. And this time, you know, he started crying again. And then like Judd was even like, I've just never seen a man cry so much in my life. Like it just is very not authentic.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, we get it. You guys were in the exterminators. If I hear that word one more time, I'm gonna freak out.
If I hear that word one more time, if I hear that sound effect, if I see those noises anymore,
we're getting rid of the rats, the cockroaches, the snakes.
Do you know one thing that I lived for in the last veto competition too, to go back for a second, is every time they flew across, there was like a sound effect of them like flying. They have so many weird sound effects in the Big Brother house. I mean, there's no ding when you hit the buzzer. There's no nothing. It's all just added in. It's just, I mean, like a little stupid light, like it's like Big Brother's just basically adult romper room. They're just running around and getting crazy, playing with a bunch of stuff. So anyway, so then it goes to the HOH competition, the live one, and it's before or after where Julie asked a series of questions. It went down to the tiebreaker, which was crazy that it made it that far.
I would not be good at those ones.
I was not very good at it either. I always called out to see how well I would have done, and, you know, I think I got like 4 points or 3 points. But anyways, Andy ended up winning. It was a good one to win.
He's a smart one, that one.
I think a lot of it was...
Professor.
I mean, he won by sheer luck.
Oh.
You pick up the board and you write down...
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was
how
a
many
tiebreaker.
seconds? I mean, that's literally just a giveaway HOH.
Yeah.
Oh
I always wonder... Oh, no, they have... What if it kept going?
It couldn't, because what are the chances that 3 people are going to write down the same number? And what was it? It was whoever's not going over is the closest, but if all 3 go over, whoever's closest, that went over.
Yeah, you're right.
And what was it, like 859 seconds or something like that, and he put 412,
yeah.
and the rest put like 2010 and 1800.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at numbers, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Before we go into Thursdays, we just want to thank all of our fans, all of our listeners for all of your comments. We listen and love them all. I have to give a call out to one I got today on my Facebook page. Mary Roberts, we love you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the nice words. And continue your mean comments about Ashley Iocco, because it just makes me laugh. And I always like them on the boards. Go to iTunes, subscribe to us. We only have one more show.
That's so sad. What are we going to do? I can't see your face every Friday.
We like live right by each other, but we never hang out.
Well, no, I'm coming to your house for Survivor parties, and I want Survivor cocktails with little umbrellas, and we're going to wear leis and coconuts.
I'm into it. Speaking of Survivor, my Survivor AfterBuzz show is going to be Thursdays. I'm coming back with Jerry Manthe and Justin Walker, and maybe you can come and be a guest sometime.
Yeah,
Did I say Walker? Walter, right? Walker.
Walter.
Little Justin. We're just going to call him Little Justin with the big ass.
I'm going to be watching Survivor, so I can come and play.
Blood versus Water is going to be great.
I have to, because I'm a huge Hayden and
Kat fan?
Kat. I love Kat.
I love Hayden and Kat too.
They're a perfect, beautiful couple.
Hayden is gorgeous.
Kat's pretty gorgeous too.
Yeah, they're both gorgeous.
Yeah, her body, whew, I've seen her work out before.
Really?
I'm just saying. We went to...
We were talking about the lady pun earlier.
Oh, yeah. She's taken.
Oh, my Lord. And also just want to remind all you guys in the LA area or some that are traveling, we are throwing the official Big Brother after party next Thursday. You can get tickets at wanttickets.com. Just type in Big Brother, or it's on our Twitter and Facebook page. AfterBuzz is going to cover the entire event. We're going to post all of the live interviews, and I'm sure there's going to be shenanigans, because when the Big Brother guests leave the house, have a few cocktails,
oh yeah,
it's not going to be pretty.
We have lots of good questions for them, so stay tuned.
Yeah, lots of questions. We're going to have lots of security. It's going to be crazy.
Lots of call outs.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So cool. Thursday. What happened on Thursday? Spencer McRae on the block. At this point, everyone's paranoid.
Yeah.
Like the whole house is. I mean, of course they are. I mean, they're literally, you can taste the money at this point. You're so close. And
third out would be the worst. Sorry, not to cut you.
No, it would be, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think first out is beyond the worst. Like,
oh, yeah. I agree.
That's terrible. It's like, hi, you're here for a day. See you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're so close they can just taste it. At this point, you're not even so much thinking about trying to stay in the house, which you are too, but you're also thinking, you're literally counting each of the jury members. Am I going to get their vote? Am I not going to get their vote?
And I don't think Andy, like, did he even think about the jury? He's pissed off every single one of those jury members.
Right.
Except for Helen, of course. Helen loves him.
Well, I would also say this, people say that a lot, like some people who haven't got a lot of jury votes or whatever, like they pissed everyone off, but like he kind of, like his character and what his role was in the house, he really didn't have any other option. You know what I mean? He wasn't like the strong lead or commander in the house. He was sort of the behind the scenes guy. He really didn't have another option. Do you know what I mean? So like you either have to go into Big Brother as a fan, set aside like your pissed off and anger, and like just sort of respect the gameplay, as opposed to like just this guy got me out of the house.
Right. But to this day, people ask me why I voted for Ian over Dan. But it's like, maybe the house guests don't know. Well, I guess they know.
Well, why did you?
Because I didn't know that Dan was even playing the game. At one point, I was like, is this guy even playing? Like, that's how...
But I'm sure you guys.
no
I'm sure you guys heard the whole house though. You guys just didn't come to this consensus on your own. You guys all talked about it, and like you guys were having drinks and hanging out at the jury house.
Right, but you want to know something interesting? When you first get to jury, the handlers that are with you, they kind of scare you in the sense where like Brittany and I got into a little bit of trouble because we were like talking alone. Like they definitely get like, you're not allowed to be talking game or influencing other people unless the cameras are on. So that's whenever, you know, they're sitting in the group and they're filming.
That's when it comes up.
Yeah, they're allowed to like go back and forth, but they don't want you, because they don't want people's votes being skewed by someone else.
Right. So then like, so you just came up to the sense that you just liked Ian better.
I did. No, it wasn't that. I didn't even, I don't even think Frank knew that Dan was playing the game so hard.
Right.
And I don't know if Brittany did either.
Right. It's definitely different being a viewer as opposed to actually living in the house, because you don't see the interviews, you don't see how much they're gaming and everything else. But I would say that this jury for sure thinks that Andy's gaming, because they blame Andy for getting all of them out of the house.
Right.
Which I think, you know, as you said, Helen was like, she can respect that. I think the other people in the house would respect it too. I for sure think that if it was Andy and Spencer, for sure Andy's gonna get it. I think anyone would get Spencer, but what do you think if it was GM and Andy?
I think, I don't know if they'll go the mature route and then vote for the better player, which would be Andy,
right,
or if they'll go with GM. But they will see that GM has started to win a lot of comps.
Right.
So it could be GM too. That's a fine
I
line.
hope it's actually the two of them, because it'll make it more exciting as opposed to just a sure win. Because you know, GM also has she has a great social game. She's also very, very likable. So I would say that, I don't know. I think they might go for GM too.
Oh, I just thought of something though. Back to my jury.
Yes.
Dan and Joe were so, or not Dan, Joe and Frank were so against Dan because of that whole Bible thing. About him swearing on the Bible and then breaking his promise to Frank and all that. So they were like super against him. And we never got to speak to Shane ever, because since he was fourth out, he goes straight to sequester. So we only get right, and when we're at the round table talking.
All together? Yeah,
that's the only time we get to talk to Shane. And also Jen was so bitter against Dan because Dan was playing her the whole time. Like they were like he was always talking to her and smoozing her or whatever.
Right.
And so she was really
Well, that's
upset.
interesting tidbits for sure then, because I just assumed you just talked about gaming every night, but it's a little bit more controlled than that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, that's all.
Well, speaking of jury, I mean, they went to the jury house. They must have listened to our last show where we wanted them to go to the jury house.
Of course, they hear everything we say.
And we talked about the jury. We love when they show each person goes to the house and they all freak out because they have no idea who it's going to be. It's kind of fun.
And we're always in the jury. You're always trying to guess, like who's it going to be, and like you're like pressing for information, but they cannot tell you,
right?
Because they want that.
Right, they want the reaction, either sad or happy and everything else. But like when Amanda walked in, it was hysterical, and then just a few minutes later, it was Alyssa. I mean, that was a big one for sure. That was a big one.
Amanda's legs looked really skinny and nice.
Yeah, she looks good when she's not in her saggy panties.
Yeah.
Saggy panties. Someone tweeted me that yesterday.
No way.
Hashtag saggy panties. Yes. I swear, it was hysterical. She's gonna hate me. But I thought it was interesting seeing them around the house. It looked a little contrived, though. Remember how you said they only talk when the cameras are on them? It's like they were forcing themselves to have a conversation.
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
I did think that Erin did give a sincere apology, because she did get a wake-up call that America is not pleased. So did Amanda. They both even mentioned that.
I'm so happy we're talking about this, because I asked the Twitter
what did you think about it? What did they say?
It was a little bit half and half. They said that it didn't seem sincere because she had a kind of like that, you know, she does that like shit-eating grin sometimes when she talks.
I think that's just how she is.
Yeah, but then again, other people said like, you know, they did think she was sincere. But I feel like she thought in her head the whole time she was playing the game that she was going to come out being this huge superstar. She was going to be the next Janelle, and she was going to move to Hollywood and be like, I don't know, the next actress
Whatever.
or a host or something.
Right.
And you kind of get your bubble bursted,
I
especially
don't know.
with that.
I don't know if the bubble's even burst yet, because she really hasn't. She's literally went to sequester and went right into the house. Like, there hasn't been like exposure to the outside world. She really has no idea. She can tell that the audience booed her, but I don't think they really know that they didn't just boo her. Like, the audience and most of America like hates her. Like, it's a difference.
She's still gonna get, called out a lot.
Oh, for sure. And this definitely could affect the rest of her life depending on how she handles it from here on out.
That's very sad. She's gonna have to do
major damage
that's
control.
Right. They want her to do more apologies and apologize to Texas.
She
and
should
actually
probably do a
individual
cooking
people.
show with Paula Dean, and then like all will be
Epic.
forgiven. Like, could you imagine? So inappropriate. But I also thought that Amanda was like, hey, I don't want to talk about the game anymore. I don't want to talk about Big Brother. We're out of the house. But like, Amanda, is still her usual self. Defending. Of course, she's gonna go defend McCrae, their showmance, and everything else. Plus, she wants him to win. If they're gonna be together.
Oh, of course she wants him to win. That's what she's thinking.
Right. Well, because she's like, he's gonna get the money. We're gonna live this life. Blah 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 blah. But like,
And they don't even get to enjoy the jury house together.
And the jury, and the jury house also. The jury, I think, is also swayed that no matter what, they associate McCrae with Amanda. And since they hate Amanda so much and wouldn't want to give Amanda the money, I think they wouldn't vote for McCrae anyways.
No, they won't, because all they keep saying is he rode your coattails and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, Candace is just a full show. I love that the jury's all women, too.
Oh, I love that.
Until
and then
Judge showed up. It's
Like-
just, he's so awkward, right?
I feel like the house kind of tainted him where he's just angry. He seems a little angry to me.
Does he?
Yeah.
Who knows?
He's like, irritated.
Yeah, but I love that they were calling McCrae out for being a complete floater, which he kind of was. I mean, he really didn't say or do anything. He did give some advice for her, but Amanda was the punching bag. I mean, he couldn't even like get a word in with her.
No, and I kind of not feel bad for him, but I do in a sense where I think he was such a super fan, and he came into this game like really wanting to play like a game, not even thinking about a showmance, and then he got this like wicked showmance.
Right.
That he wasn't prepared for.
Right. And it wasn't like a normal showmance because Amanda's crazy.
Yeah.
So that like definitely like mixed it all up a little bit. So then they go into the veto competition. They show that, and it's Web of Lies, which is basically a memorization challenge where they basically have to put all the faces up to the old house guests,
which could be totally challenging.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. But like, the smart players the entire time, they're like remembering or coming up with a memorization system of like when each house guest left, what day it was, because these challenges always come up. We see them every season. Like, I forget who it was that left at day 62. Like, they all knew that instantly. Like, they really paid attention to that. Did you even pay attention to that kind of stuff at all? You would have been horrible at that, wouldn't you?
You know what I always thought when I was like studying Big Brother, like in sequester, I was like, it's okay. I'm just gonna like wing it and I'll win.
Wing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wing it on Big Brother. This one. At least you made it to jury by a miracle.
Hey now.
So anyways, they had to match the house guests and everything else, and the power veto ended up being won by Andy. So he's HOH and veto.
Wait, I have to say something.
Yeah.
I do this all the time to you. But I did try studying, and people didn't want to study with me. I'd be like, guys, let's study. Ian, let's study. No. Meanwhile, he was in the HOH coaching the quack pack the whole time.
Right. Well, because you had no alliance, Ashley. I mean, no one loves you except me.
Perfect.
So basically, they just start talking about the votes at this point. Spencer says that GM will think that GM has more votes. So even Spencer's like, we shouldn't take GM, and they're trying to figure it all out. Because at one point I thought, well, maybe they'll keep McCrae because they want to get rid of GM. Because at this point, like you said, it's all about the votes.
It is.
So like your alliances are, who cares? You got to get the person out who you're going to get the most votes against. So I also thought it was funny that the exterminators sat down McCrae and had a full roundtable meeting and said, this is the tea.
I know. Do you think, would you have wanted that, or would you have just like, come on, just let me go? I don't want to hear about you.
I would appreciate the honesty for sure, but I was thinking that there had to be the show maybe, because was Andy leading the conversation? He was. So I think, in my opinion, it was Andy to McCrae that he's the mastermind behind this. He's this. So that was the intention that I got out of the conversation.
That's true. And I guess because Andy was so loyal to McCrae and Amanda throughout the entire game until the exterminators were formed.
Right. Well, I think he wanted McCrae to leave the house to respect his game. Like, that meeting had nothing to do with Gina Marie or Spencer at all. It literally was just Andy saying, this is what I've done. I've done the biggest plays. And so he could go feed the jury house. That's what my thought was behind the whole process.
Yeah, you're right. And I think he's smart about it.
I would have done the same thing. So Andy, as much as I don't like him, he's definitely like playing the game at this point, like hard. He kind of was like the middle person for a while. Now he's like really, really gaming. So
I think that's what you have to do in this game. Lay completely
Put
low.
that tongue away, Ashley. It's scaring me.
And then you play hard at the end.
Right. The people who
That's what I would've did.
the people who come out hot in the beginning are gone. Nick, which can we just talk about? Is Nick ever going to talk to GM when he leaves?
I don't know, but Nick's
I don't think
a doll
so.
baby.
He's a sweetheart, right?
He is like really sweet.
Well, thank God for GM like giving him press the whole week. I mean, his Twitter followers are going up to like 38,000. Like, he's working it out.
He's doing good. He's getting lots of press, and I'm happy for him because out of everyone that I've ever met besides like Rachel from Big Brother, like I just really like him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, right? Is he single?
I know I'm not trying to date him. I'm just saying.
No, but is he single?
Oh, I don't know.
You have the blonde hair like Gina Marie, so maybe you could like get on in there. We get you a Nick hat. Let's do a love connection.
No.
So McCrae's out.
Oh, is that it?
I mean, McCrae's gone. It's gone. It's now left down to the final three. And I will say, even myself, obviously Big Brother fan like crazy. All the other Twitter feeds, people are disappointed in the final three. They're not even like, it's not interesting at this point. It normally was so exciting. Like, I just think last season how exciting it was till the very, very end, the final HOH competition, and it's just, I don't know.
It's not. I didn't. You know what kind of it like messes me up with AfterBuzz? I didn't watch those final episodes. Like I don't know what our season was like at the end.
At all?
I can imagine it was very exciting though.
You didn't watch your final? You didn't go back and watch the video?
It was too much. I was in this
even
weird
now?
funk.
I haven't watched my show either.
I
I
don't
saw the
care
live
to.
ones. I don't know. I guess I should say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's like I have to be in a good place. Maybe it rains for a week or something. I'll stay home with
Yeah.
like a bottle of wine and watch them all.
And that's a big time commitment. And like I'd like to think that like I'm better than that now, and not better than Big Brother. I'm not for sure.
No,
but I'm
you've
saying,
grown up. Like that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have some regrets watching my show too,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I don't.
Can we talk about how famous I am that I get invited to the Big Brother finale and not Ashley, who was on Big Brother? Can we
You know, I'm a little upset about it.
I will be at the finale. Lots of
I'll
stuff.
be at the party.
Lots of stuff to talk about next Friday. It's gonna be really, really fun. Ashley, where can people find you on social media?
On Ashley,
Oh my God.
Ashley Iocco at Twitter.com. I mean,
Never mind. Cut to me. Ashley Iocco is probably one of the most embarrassing people I've ever met in my life. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, everything else at Ryan A. Carrillo, 2 R's and 2 L's. Thanks for
Sorry,
tuning
famous.
in. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
And we love you.
And to all the Big Brother fans, you guys rock.
Y'all rock. We love you.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.